Hey, what's up, Theo? What's up, Chrissy D, Baby Gorgeous? Hope you guys are doing great. My name's Nick. I am from Aurora, Illinois, and my question for Chris, actually for both of you, if you both could answer this, it'd be great. But for Chris, I know that you had started a career in physical therapy, and I was wondering what was the moment and what made you decide to pursue stand-up full-time, and what was going on? I'm always curious to know what it was that made you transition into different career paths. Like, was stand-up maybe just a hobby? Was it always a passion? And how was that for you? How did that go? And for you as well, Theo, what were you doing when you decided that you were going to do stand-up and become a comedian full-time? And how was that like for you as well? It's just something I'm always interested in to know with anyone that pursues something as crazy as stand-up. So thanks, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of the day. Gang, gang.
Gang, bro.
Gang.
Thank you for
very
calling
articulate. I did not expect him to be as articulate and well-spoken and well-mannered and soft, in a positive way, as he was. I thought it was going to come out, because last time I did your podcast, your fans were just coming out swinging, saying, I want to fight you, fuck you. But
really?
now it seems, because they were only going off what they had seen of me, and what they had seen of me was you and I ripping each other from Opie. But now, again, positive, because I came on your show and some of your fans start listening to my stuff, I could see they're calling me Baby Gorgeous and Chrissy Chlamydia. They listen, so it's a different thing.
Yeah,
so I appreciate all this.
Yeah, look, man, I appreciate you. I'm glad that you're here, dude. The good thing
Hold
about
my hands
this.
while we end
all
this.
right. I'm trying to think I haven't held a guy's hands like this. Hold on, bro. Don't
No,
touch
come on,
the top
man.
of my hand with
You
your
got
other
those fingers, bro.
Huh?
You got those fucking perfect ass fingers.
They're not perfect, dude. I have very, very, kind of the hands of you could barely fucking choke somebody. You have to have somebody else just come and help you.
Nah, dude, they're fucking good in there. And you don't bite your nails either.
I do. My thumbs are good.
You got sexy ass cuticles.
Really?
I think so.
But look at this finger, kind of.
Oh, that finger's disgusting. That looks like E.T.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gross. Yeah, your fingers are a little long.
Yeah,
but
I mean they're fingers though. They shouldn't be real, not long.
You could just rock your toes, man, with no. My feet are disgusting. They grow over each other.
I could easily see that.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, you look like somebody who would have webbed feet almost.
I don't have webbed feet, but I believe I was born with broken feet, and they never fixed it.
Yeah, sure.
My feet are broken.
Take care of yourself, dude. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You look like a guy that definitely was in the band, in the school band, even though he wasn't really in it.
Yeah, I was just there.
You look like you were on the marching thing with the flag.
Yeah. Dude, you look like my third grade gym teacher, Mrs. Klein. Oh, yeah. She was like this lesbian. We used to call her Liu Kang. You kind of look like Liu Kang from Street Fighter if he was a white dude and had money.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
But
should we answer his question? Yeah, let's answer his question.
Oh, go ahead. You want to start?
Yeah, so what was I doing? I mean, I was always doing something else on the side until comedy was just enough of a job, you know? I think at a certain point, it just kind of chooses you. I think even till about 10 years in, I was like, am I going to keep doing this? Am I going to keep doing this? At some point, I have to grow up, it feels like. Comedy for me always felt like a place where I could just be, I never had to grow up. You get to travel all the time. You get to escape whatever was going on in your regular life. You always got to get out of town. If you were about to be in a relationship, I got to go. I got to get out of town. You know, you were always on the go. You never had to be in one space. You never had to really kind of deal with yourself, I guess, in a little bit. So comedy always gave me that, the ability to escape, I felt like. And then at a certain point, I was like, I'm getting older. I need to figure out, am I going to have, what am I going to do here? How am I going to have a real future? And then, I think at some point it just kind of chose me. It was like, okay, there's enough here where I can survive, so I'm going to stay.
What I always liked about you is you were a guy that you had to really not that it mattered, but there was a lot of proving that you had to do to your peers, because when you started out, it was real world, and then you start doing stand-up, and already people are like, nah, he's a real world guy. He's not a real stand-up. And then your career, like you said, was like just maintaining, did the Netflix special, and it's just maintaining. And then you start to prove yourself in the podcast game. And then they say, oh, well, he's just starting a podcast. He's still the real world guy. But then you start to explode with the podcast. And then it got to the point where it's like, now I've shed that real world thing. I don't think anybody, I know for a fact, no one even thinks about that with you anymore. Like, that was something he did 15 years ago. And now it's just like, great podcaster, great stand-up. It's matched. So sometimes as a peer of yours in the comedy world, I notice, I'm like, that was pretty insane how he was able to do all that. The random fan may not know that. They may just be like, oh, I've always fucked with Theo. But it's like where you had to come from, because you could have easily quit is my point. Because you're saying 10 years, it's like, after, I'm sure you heard it, because if I heard it in New York, then you heard it. It was like, oh, it's the real world dude. But that's, we don't want to be known as that. Like, just now am I starting to shed, oh, you that guy from Guy Code? Where it's like, that's a part of me. I'm proud of it. But now it's like they know my name a little bit. They know my podcast. They know me for stand-up, not for being a talking head. And you are not known for being on a reality show.
Yeah.
You know? So it takes a lot of work to do that. So I'm always noticing about you. And that's I started just to answer the fans' question. Thank you for that question.
Yeah.
I was a pediatric physical therapist. I have a doctorate degree in physical therapy.
Yeah, sure.
It's crazy, dude. It really is crazy, man. When you get skull fucked, your paths change. You know. So I went and I became a physical therapist. I was working with children, pediatric, mentally and physically handicapped children. It was a beautiful job. But then simultaneously, I got on Guy Code, and Guy Code really started to pop off on MTV2. And then they created Girl Code, and that really started to pop off. So what happened was, see, the thing is this, is, you know, a lot of the people who were watching the shows were younger people, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. It was a college younger people show on MTV and MTV2. And it's very well known that older women sometimes will give birth to a child with a disability. You know, there's a lot of testing that women as they get older have to do. It's less and less now, but it's still a thing. That's why people always say, oh, my biological clock. But what's also not as known, but is very true, is younger women, 17, 16, they don't have the proper prenatal care, and they don't know that they're pregnant. So their children are born with high disability rates as well.
Definitely. And high sugar, too. They always at Sonic.
Always at Sonic. Yeah. Oh, So they a lot of the moms and dads of the children I was treating were young people that were watching Guy Code and Girl Code. And the principal of the school I was working at was like, look, we found out you're doing comedy and doing these TV shows. And they're like, you can't be treating handicapped children and also doing a show about the Guy Code to hiding your boner. So you're going to have to choose. And so it was really this little kid, my little man, Aaron, great kid. He was in a wheelchair, had cerebral palsy. So cognitively, he was fine. No problems with speech, or his mind worked like our minds, but his legs didn't work from cerebral palsy. So he was sitting in his wheelchair one day. We were throwing the ball at him. You know, he would throw it at me. I would, rifle it off his legs. He couldn't feel it anyway. So I would just rifle it off, light him with, burn him with cigarettes, whatever it is. You know what I mean? He couldn't feel shit. I would tell him to close his eyes. I would just, whatever. Light his pants on fire, joke around.
Have a pet bat bite him.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But
what? He's your agent now?
Yeah, he's my agent. No, so Aaron, told me when I was flirting with this idea of leaving physical therapy. He's 6 years old, but the thing is, when you're a 6-year-old kid that's got a disability, you're so wise beyond your years.
Yeah.
So the reason, because the man asked me what made me change. I was always flirting with the idea of leaving for a year. I was like, I should leave. I need to jump 2 feet in if I really want to do stand-up. And then it got to the point where Aaron told me, we were talking, throwing the ball back and forth, and I was like, I kind of want to leave stand-up. I kind of want to leave physical therapy to do stand-up, but I'll miss you guys so much, so I don't know if I could do it. And he was like, well, isn't being a comedian your dream? And I said, yeah, it is. And he goes, so why wouldn't you go do it if that's what you always want to do? And I was like, I don't know, I'm going to miss you guys. And he was like, he said to me, he was like, I'm not going anywhere. I can't walk. I'm always going to be sitting in this chair waiting for you. He's like, but I want to, Aaron said this to me. He goes, I think it's pretty cool if I could see one of my teachers, he called his teacher, one of my teachers on TV. He said, I would think that was pretty cool. He said, and if I had that opportunity, I would go, and I would hope you would want to watch me and be proud of me. And he said, we're all proud of you. I think you should go do it and go live your dream.
Damn.
And I was like, damn. And then, I said to him, I was like, how are you so smart? How are you so smart like this? And how are you so brave? And then he said, like, I'll never forget. He was like, you see, Mr. Chris, it was like a fucking movie. He's like, you see, Mr. Chris, he said, when you can't walk or use your legs and you're in a wheelchair, he said, you have all day to sit and think. Wow. He said, so I'm thinking about you, and I think you should go do it. And then I swear to God, I fucking relieved myself, hysterical crying. Like 3 hours later, I told the principal, I was like, I'm going to leave.
Is this Patch Adams, I think?
No, dude, it was legit. It was fucking legit.
Joking, man. It's wild. I mean, fuck.
And then I put Chinese finger traps and shit on his toes. I took those off because he couldn't feel it anyway.
Oh my God. Yeah. Did he really say that, man?
I swear he really said that.
It's remarkable, to think about how much time you have to think, just how still probably your world gets when you can't even move.
Because it was that pushed me out. Also, also, this is true too. I had sex with 4 of the teachers at different times, and the heat was starting to get turned up because they all found out about it. So they were starting to get a little heated in that physical therapy
Chrissy
room.
Petri dish with that drip drop.
So
too,
between
man.
Aaron telling me to go live my dream and these girls, about to press charges, it was time to leave.
Damn. Good evening, good afternoon, and other times. Thanks for watching that video you just saw. I mean, it was okay. But the next video you could watch could be way better. What if you watch a video right now that changes your life? Well, you could. Watch this one. Or watch this one. Watch this one. Watch this one. Watch this one. Ah!